Oh, snap.
YouTube, Moon Club Podcast number 205, YouTube version. The main podcast will start in about 5 minutes. Peace, YouTube people. We love YouTube.
Hey, YouTube, if you're new here, go ahead and go down and smash that like button.
Yeah, no, smash the subscribe button because we're about 17 people away from being able to go YouTube live.
We should promote that every week.
Yeah. Remind you to do that.
Oh, yes. Get back in here so people got something to look at. Talking about some. What? I can't. What?
Yeah, but to your point, like about feeling racial and all that shit, like I was wearing this at a gas station, and like I had some black people, like I think they were like name mugging me, like what the fuck is that? Like I don't know if they like knew who Chappelle was because they were younger kids.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, this isn't a statement. This is just I'm a Chappelle fan, right?
Right.
Yeah, they were like, the fuck's the white boy? It's the red, black, and green thing. The fuck? What's up? But yeah, I don't know if I'll wear that in public.
So where'd you get that? Thank you, Amazon.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
No, I went to see Chappelle in concert this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a social distance event. There was only like 300 people there. But me and Mindy, I got tickets, $300 for 2 tickets, but you know, we wanted to go.
On a lifetime type thing.
Yeah, it's a bucket list thing. For sure. For me.
Did you get a meet and greet or anything?
No.
Because you know he ain't meet and greet nobody.
No.
Not for $300 a ticket.
It was so Dave Chappelle, Michelle Wolf, Donnell Rawlings, the comedian Mo. I never can remember his name. It's like Mo Man. What is his name? I never can remember. But it was a good show.
That's always a good show for Dave Chappelle. I don't know what could fix it. I don't think it's going to be fixed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing is a lot of people want change, but when we find out like in these Chaz or these CHOP or whatever the fuck that little autonomous zone was, that people don't really have a good idea what change is because they just turned into like, you know, heathens within a week.
Yeah.
Beating the shit out of each other and creating more borders inside of their borderless zone, whatever the fuck they were trying to do.
I mean, like in South Park when not South Park, Family Guy when Peter Griffin made his own country.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
That's pretty funny. Basically, they turned his water off, his electricity, everything like that, and then all of a sudden it just got real, you know. It's like, oh, hold on. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the United States, per se. As far as, am I proud to be American? I'm proud to be an Irish American. You know, I got Irish heritage, Scottish heritage. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my Southern heritage, born in Charleston, South Carolina. So, that being said, what country is greater than? You know, because if you look at society, because you say, well, this country was built on slavery. What country was not?
Well, that's what I would say. I mean, this country has a lot of problems, but in my opinion, it's still kind of the best place to be. Maybe not Illinois per se.
Yeah.
Like we get the shit taxed out of us,
Yeah.
and we don't really even have a say in that. But you know, I don't want to.
And there's no damn ocean. Like if you want to tax me and I'm living by the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. You know.
Yeah.
Pay a fucking net tax so you can keep the sharks off the beach. You know, I'll do that.
You guys ever use Google Lens?
I have not.
I cannot say that I have.
I use it for plants. If I don't know what a plant
Oh,
is.
by the way, that monitor doesn't work for some reason, Steve. So you're not gonna be able to see anything.
I thought I was seeing stuff. I just thought it was all black.
See oil.
I'm proud to be black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all,
It's almost-
and I'm black, y'all.
It's almost hard to trick Google Lens. You can take a picture of anything, and it'll tell you what it is.
I couldn't figure out your dick.
But you know, if you think about it, it's instead of a
But smaller. I think we're gonna say that.
Instead of a reverse image search, it's kind of like a direct image search. Does that make sense?
I don't know. I was
You ever do a reverse image search?
No.
Well, you know what that is,
How
right?
do you look for reverse images?
I've never used it. I just watch catfish.
I've done an inverse image of a negative image, and it turned out positive.
Yeah.
Two negatives always make a positive, correct?
2 lefts make a right,
I think it's 3.
3 lefts. 4 lefts makes a square.
Yeah, also we were just talking about the state of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Did you guys see the,
our universe, our immediate universe?
Was it Neil deGrasse Tyson? No, it was Michio Kaku. Talking about within this decade, we're gonna talk with aliens.
Somebody's got to give me the time because my phone
59.
is.
Ooh.
Yep.
It's
My
about the
phone's
time.
All right, so we're not doing J Mecca. We're going straight into what?
Your intro.
Okay. So that starts with the applause. Is that right?
Sounds like it to me.
We should still have J Mecca playing when we go on.
Or just cut a shortened version
Just
of
kind
it?
of shorten, cut and fade it out.
All right, 6 o'clock. That should start in a second.
Oh yeah.
A little louder.
Right on time.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. 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 Don't tell that.
He did it live too.
Don't tell that midnight rider. Tell the rebel, backbiter. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down. Tell him the God's gonna cut you down. Peace.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Loft Dreams apartment, this is the Moon Club podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon, no something will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Allen, Bloomington Almost Premier Realtor for the Jew at Home Selling Team at RE/MAX Rising. And I want to be your realtor, and I will out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
Show enough.
Good evening, you lovely lunatics. Want me to go into it now?
I thought you were.
thing.
Alright, this is State of the Moon. It's Tuesday, July 28, 2020, 6:01 p.m. The moon comes up at 2:50 p.m. Goes down at 1:13 a.m. tomorrow. It's currently waxing gibbous.
Oh, snap.
It is 61% illuminated. It is 636,000 kilometers away from us. It's 8 days old. And it is in the sign of Scorpio.
Ow.
Did you know the moon had its own signs?
I did not know that.
So Scorpio, that means, all you girls that are Scorpios, don't have sex tonight. You'll get pregnant.
The signs come from where the moon rises in the sky.
Okay.
And right now it's rising in the area or the precession of the equinox known as the Scorpio.
Okay.
So that's where the sign comes from.
Okay.
Signs, everywhere there's
So,
signs.
dropping knowledge on why that is.
Like Galileo dropping
Fact
orange.
checked. Like only MJ Allen can.
I'm here for you, brother.
We appreciate it. And we are here for you.
We only have 10 more seconds of Franken and Franken's son, so we're going to go ahead and let that play out. And then we'll get right into some
Let it roll out.
Jason Silva. All right. The weekly Jason Silva is on brain coupling. And I thought this was interesting. And I thought the Moon Clubbers would like it. So, it is.
Dude, it's kind of like in Avatar. Fuck, I wish I had a tail. You feel me?
You actually do.
So we've all experienced
It's
that
actually
feeling
8.5.
when you're really connecting with somebody, right? You meet somebody new, they're really exciting, you find yourself hypnotized by their presence, you find them bewitching, and as you start to converse, as you start to share stories, you find that you come
Dude, I
into
feel like
this
I'm there.
synchronized kind of element. You feel like you're connected. You feel like you're meshing.
I
You
can't
feel like
share
you're
it
on
with
the
anybody.
same vibe, like you're
You
on the
can't.
same frequency. And I love
I'm
that
not
you
here.
use these
I wanna share with everybody.
ambiguous terminology to describe what is
What do you think we're up,
experientially, at
man?
least a metaphysical
No, I just
experience.
figured out
I mean,
what I'm saying.
what does that even mean? Oh man, we were meshing, we were connected, we were so vibing. It's almost like these musical metaphors to describe something that ultimately can't be measured, but our intuition alone is the way in which we come to realize that we're having that experience with somebody else. But again, it's not like we have like a radar machine that can scan when we're synchronized with somebody else. Oh, I'm meshing with her. Her radar meter of meshing was really working. You know, we have technological instruments to measure radar and measure if, other electromagnetic spectrum frequencies, but we don't have instruments to do that when it comes to the space of human interaction. And yet we have these experiences. They feel real, right? They're intuitive. They're subjective. And so what does that mean? So recently there was a researcher at TED who was doing some research on what he calls brain coupling.
Oh, I
And what he
figured out how to
did
do a watch
is
party.
he actually did fMRI scans on the brains of like romantic couples or best friends or people that just feel like they kind of speak each other's language. And so here's what's really interesting. When he did fMRI scans on the brain, so like an empirical scientific measurement of what was happening in each of their brains, he found that their brain waves were actually synchronizing. So take that in for a second. A metaphysical experience, a supposedly non-measurable, metaphysical, magical dimension of the human experience in which you are meshing and connecting and vibing and on the same frequency with somebody else. That poetic, rapturous, subjective experience all of a sudden can be quantified in an empirical scientific manner. So we are grounding the poetry, the mystery of human communication, of human intimacy, and finally able to like understand it in a physical sense, in a physical way. And so when science finally sort of grounds our metaphysical musings in an empirical reality, what it does for me is it doesn't get rid of the mystery, but it sort of reassures me that what I was experiencing was real. It sort of makes it even more real for me. So now I know that when I meet that special someone, when she comes into my life and she smiles in just the right way and I get the goosebumps from staring at the iris of a lover's eye, I know that our brain waves are literally in sync. And so this is what we should look for when we connect with anybody. We should be like, hey, do you want to brain couple with me? You want to sit and talk and get naked in body and mind and couple our brain waves together? Because that's what I'm interested in. Skip the small talk. Skip the small talk and go straight to that like intersubjective rapture. Let's become one thing. I mean, this is the goal. This is
Grabbing
intimacy.
pussy, like
This is
fucking Trump
so
was talking about.
desperately
I don't think it's
articulate
that
but
at all.
often fail to do. Anyway, that's brain coupling.
Dude, I'm gonna get high and watch that again later.
Yes.
That's,
Dude, you know what? I think he's an irrational transhumanist.
Explain that.
Just he's in love with technology and the way we can couple with the technology as a human.
Yeah, I think he's also in love with words and finding different ways to express himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Articulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily talking about coupling with technology as it was more just
Interpersonal connection.
interpersonal,
Right.
spiritual. Yeah,
spiritual.
we've been
Like an avatar, like I was talking about.
No, not at all like Avatar, like you were talking about. Like
Remember when they
Avatar,
coupled their tails?
but the one guy wasn't even an avatar. He was.
You know that
actually
tree that
technology.
they're in, that their whole center is their whole lives are focused around, was called the limpet tree.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
You didn't know that?
Are you fucking with me?
No, I didn't.
Okay. If they would, it would
But-
blow my mind.
But when you described the limpet tree, that's what I pictured. It's like you said the base of the limpet tree was like three.
Hold on. Let's go
blocks.
back to something that Steve just said, and you said that guy wasn't even an avatar. But I think the purpose of
Well, what I meant was he wasn't one of those.
no, I get it.
beings, Yeah,
But
yeah.
the way the movie played out is that he fell in love with her anyway, right? So it didn't really matter if he was just like playing the simulation.
Well, she was hot.
Yeah, she
She
was
was
hot.
tall
She
and
was
blue.
blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
It was exciting, and to be put in that, like, just that titillating environment that everything was
Did you use
just
that word on
interactive.
purpose?
I did.
Titillating.
No, but seriously, that is I think that's the purpose.
Everybody
of it,
drink.
Is that even if you are in a simulation, I think you can still fall in love, right?
Yeah.
Austin may, because he is in love with technology.
I wonder if he ever texted her.
Myself, I need the connection that he was talking about. Like when you see that person and you're like, that's that person. But unfortunately, every time I get that connection with some person,
Oh, this
they
will be
think
good.
like, what the fuck is this dude looking at me like that for? You know, I need to get away
Yeah,
from this
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So therein lies my dilemma. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I was hooked up to a computer and I was simulating some 6-foot blue guy, yeah, that would be good. I'd couple my tail with her as well.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
Okay, so people they kind of get mad, and I think they have the wrong idea about this theory about a simulated or a simulation or a simulated universe or whatever. They're like, remember the one lady was like, well, what happens when a man meets a woman and like that? And they're like, well, that could happen in a simulation as easily as it could happen in real life, right?
Yeah.
So the point is, I would pose a question like this: would you rather go through your miserable existence that you're living right now, and maybe some people aren't so miserable, or if you had the option, like you can plug into this machine and you'd be somebody kind of famous, right?
Mhm.
You can be like, I think I'd choose Joe Rogan. That's what I would choose. I could live his life. I mean, if I had that chance, yeah.
You have that option? Dude, it reminds me
plug
of,
me into that.
I'm eating this steak, and I know it's not real.
For sure, yeah, The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
The Matrix. That
It's
was
like
Joey
it's like,
Pantoliano.
put me back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not he goes, not somebody too famous.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe somebody like semi-famous.
Reminds me of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie,
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Yeah, good movie.
Great
It's underrated movie, I think.
A lot better than the remake with.
So-
my mind, I shouldn't. Have
The debate with Total Recall.
The black guy that's really animated, right? What's
Don
his name?
Cheadle.
No.
well, I thought the
Wayne Brady?
damn Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady's coming on tonight, by the way.
Yes. He'll be on at what, 7:30?
Yep,
Wayne Brady's got bitches. That's all I know.
that's what I heard.
I mean, that is what I heard.
Hold on, I'm getting a text.
Hopefully, it's Mindy gonna tell us who was in Total Recall too.
Wayne Brady's putting us off. He's gonna be on in the last 10 minutes.
That motherfucker. Colin Farrell, I think, was in Total Recall.
Yes,
the remake.
that's the name. That's the name.
Colin Farrell.
Pretty
Who has
pretty good
done,
actor.
has
What-
done some really good movies and also done some stinkers, though.
Yeah.
If I'm being fair about
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on the Total Recall? Was it a dream? I mean, because it kind of points to that.
I think it can be interpreted in many different ways. I think the way I interpret it is that when he goes into the memory store the first time, right? I think everything from there takes off into a fantasy world.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like when he sits down in the chair, that's when the whole thing starts. Like, and it makes sense because it's almost like they never broke your reality. If they're taking you on vacation, they want to make it look real, and they gave him everything that he asked for.
it would be the perfect way to start a virtual reality simulation, right? So you
Yeah.
go in and you're like, yeah, make me like a secret agent, and then like, so you're in the chair and they're starting, and all of a sudden you're in a fight. You're like, oh, these guys are like fucking secret agents, right?
Right.
Like that's how it would start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But when they came to get him out and said, hey, you're in this alternate reality, you're actually back in the chair, da 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 da, and he ended up killing them dudes right then and there. You know what I mean? So I actually believed the story, that he was this agent and that was triggered.
I think
and
you
that
wanna
his
believe it.
life. No, I think that is the way it was written.
Well, I think it was written so that either way could work, right?
How did it actually end?
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again.
What? Let's do it. Let's
I
watch
think
it.
happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
And I really actually can't even remember.
He gets the
Colin
girl.
Farrell one.
Right.
And
But
Sharon
if-
Stone was fucking hot in that, right? And
But
then
he
she
don't-
tried to seduce him.
That was his first wife, right?
Sharon
Yeah.
Stone, yeah.
Yeah. And if you remember the hot girl, the one who's like, oh, I like it, athletic girl.
Wasn't there a girl with 3 tits in that movie?
That's
yes,
part of
there
the
was,
movie.
But that girl was like
A Martian.
coupling up with the guy that was trying to catch him.
Yeah.
So he's like giving her a hard time. She's like, yeah, I bet you've had a real hard time, like, catching that dick for the
Yeah.
last 8 months or whatever it was. Yeah.
Doesn't he go up and say, makes me wish I had 3 hands?
Chris Tucker?
I don't know. I just remember seeing that where somebody goes with a 3-breasted girl. Makes me wish I had 3 hands.
I think that was in a Chappelle show bit.
Actually,
Okay.
wasn't it the taxi driver? I think it was in that movie.
Chris Tucker?
No, there was a black taxi driver.
Yeah.
Chris Tucker?
not Chris Tucker. That was in
Chris
Total
Tucker wasn't in
Recall.
it.
Total Recall. In the
No,
Black
he
Cab,
wasn't.
doesn't he turn out to be a mutant?
I mean,
at the
he
end?
probably would have been. Yeah, he was. Well, he was working for him, but
He's
yeah,
like-
he was a mutant as well.
Was Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had
He's
one
got
of
like
the
a
baby.
fucking
That wasn't
dolphin
Chris
fan
Tucker?
or
Am I just
something?
remembering that wrong?
That's
Does he look
not
like
No,
Chris
it was
Tucker?
not Chris Tucker.
It looked actually nothing like Chris Tucker, you know, but
Except
I
he
can
was
see him in
black.
my-
Some
There you
people-
go.
I can
I'm
see him in
part
my
of the
head.
problem.
I've seen him
I'm
in
part
other
of the
things.
problem.
you're not part of the solution. I'm
Right.
gonna tell you that right now.
All right, so I had
Yeah.
this video, and we talked about it on the podcast before about how starved we were for entertainment in the 1970s. Like when we grew up, like okay, let's say like late 1970s when we're like watching TV and what we would watch and think was good. And this is something Ginger Rogers on the Love Boat that I'm sure when it came on we were like, oh, this is jamming. But if you watch it now,
Dude, I still don't know who the fuck Ginger Rogers is.
I don't know, Ginger
I
Rogers.
thought it, when you said that, I was like, oh, the girl from Gilligan's Island?
That was her name, wasn't it?
Her name was Ginger, but not Rogers.
Ginger Grant?
Maybe Ginger Grant. All right, here we go.
Lunatics. Help her brother out. I just accidentally posted to a marsupial group. Sorry about that.
Love will keep us together.
They gonna be babe whenever.
I just tried to find this group.
Talking gal comes along, singing her song. Don't mess around. You gotta be strong. Just stop. 'Cause I really love you.
How old is this lady? 107 years old?
I don't know.
Look at my heart and let love.
Dude, if I was Simon, I'd be like, enough.
Pull the hook. She get the 3
Dude,
X's.
Simon would beat her up.
All right, who's Simon?
Cal.
Simon Cowell from, was it America's Got Talent?
Oh, okay. I would have never played that much of it except they had to go make a drink, so I
Right.
apologize for making you watch that.
Hey,
but
man, it was worth it.
That is what we thought was good entertainment
You know,
when we were
that
kids.
seems-
I
that
actually
seems like
never thought that.
that seems like a drunk Vegas thing from like 1978.
Yeah.
Now
Thanks,
play Charo on the Love Boat.
Dude.
I thought that was entertaining.
Okay.
Charo.
Remember that?
Dude, it's
Charo.
like before
I
a
remember
guy
that.
sings like that. What are they called? Crooners. It's like, hey, thanks for coming out. You know, it's like, and then they start singing shit.
Ba 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 boom.
Yeah.
Anybody
When
that's
that shot
snapping when they're singing.
flies.
Charo sings the Love Boat theme.
Hey, there you go.
All right.
Charles'
you know
first
what? For
appearance
my
on
money,
the
it just doesn't get any better.
Charles'
than that.
first appearance.
Well, if this isn't it, let me know.
Now that's entertainment right there.
I'm not ready to turn it away yet.
A lot better than the other one.
What was she known for? Her voice?
No,
Her body?
not yeah. That's got to
That's
be.
better than the other girl. Well, not much.
That's like Shakira.
Dude,
Yeah.
At least you know it's them.
Those were high-powered moves back then.
Oh,
what she's
yeah.
doing right now.
Yeah.
Working it.
Yeah.
Like Shakira would have already spun around her ass 8 million times.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? I like her dress. She could probably get away with that today.
Look at Isaac. Isaac's like, oh yeah.
Well, if you actually look at a picture of Charo
Dude, she's
now,
making it
she's
work.
like 60 something or 70 something. She
Dude,
looks as
she,
damn same.
she's making it work. She's definitely giving.
It's
what
definitely
she's got.
better than Ginger Rogers, right?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
But still
Remember
horrible.
Touche. Steve, good point.
Lonnie
Still horrible.
Anderson from WKRP?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Oh yeah.
It's long been said the turkey is a flightless bird. Not anymore.
Hello, Kazuki.
That was one of the best scenes on television, period.
What's up, Dave Dennis?
He's like,
Christopher Cummings is
it's
watching.
tiny
Brittany
skydivers.
Brittany Hendricks.
What up, peeps? Lunatics?
We talking about when they start throwing turkeys out of the fucking helicopter?
Yeah. Those aren't skydivers, they're turkeys. Les Nessman was on the scene.
But actually the quote that I quoted was from a David Letterman bit where he was
It's long
dropping
It's
turkeys
long been
off
said
the
that the
building.
turkey is a flightless bird.
He's like, not anymore. He would drop it off a 12-story building
Onto
onto
a trampoline.
Yeah, hit the trampolines.
Yeah.
I remember that as well.
Dude, that was
Great.
good entertainment. I love
That
it.
was good entertainment for sure.
I love watching him throw shit off that. Was it 10 story?
Have
I
you
think it
seen
was a
a
12-story
recent
building.
picture of David Letterman?
Yeah, he's got the gray.
beard like down to here.
Yeah,
He's loving life.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's good
As
to
long
be
as
him.
crazy bitches don't
Remember,
break into his apartment.
Oh, he gave.
Remember Larry Bud Melman?
Larry Bud.
Yeah,
What about the guy under the stairs?
that was Chris.
It was not Chris Tucker.
No, it wasn't Chris Tucker. What was his name?
MJ's want to put Chris Tucker in everything.
One of our favorite, actually.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I got one more serious thing to talk about, and then we'll get into some more lighthearted stuff. So, Ghislaine Maxwell, I say Ghislaine, but also told me that the S is silent. But I say Ghislaine because I think her name should be more like Jizzon because she's a piece of shit.
Oh.
So I want everybody to know who this woman is. Most people already know, but this is Jeffrey Epstein's mistress, her side piece, the one that like went out and got a bunch of young girls for her.
Yes.
Him. And I think she's going to be 86. I think she's going to be suicided here in the next 12 to 18 months. But here, this is who this person is.
She's definitely depressed.
She's depressed.
And you know what? They might.
So the fuck what?
What's
She's
she-
a monster.
what's she
Dude,
got
they
reason
might
to-
forget to check in on her while the guards are sleeping and the cameras aren't working.
All right, so
Oh,
here,
he's saying she's
here it is.
depressed that she's might commit suicide.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. You know all the Epstein shit? It's like the guards fell asleep and
Who is
The cameras were broke.
Ghislaine Maxwell? Ghislaine Maxwell has pleaded not guilty to charges of luring girls to be sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what we know about the 58-year-old British socialite who's being held without bail in New York. Whoa, 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 whoa.
WTF.
Here's what we know about the 58-year-old British socialite who is being held without bail in New York. She is the daughter of British media magnate Robert Maxwell, who died in 1991. After his death, it emerged that he had looted 460 million pounds from employees at his firm. In the early 1990s, Ghislaine Maxwell moved to New York, where she worked selling real estate.
Jelaine.
Around the time she began her romantic relationship with Epstein, a financial living in the style, even after they broke up, Maxwell remained a member of his inner circle. In 2003, Vanity
It's like
Fair
a
article,
Grinch.
Epstein was quoted as saying Maxwell was his best friend. Their life was one of private jets, Caribbean islands, and partying with luminaries.
That picture's
including
not
Prince
real.
Andrew.
It's fake news.
In 2013 and 14, Maxwell spoke at the UN and founder of the Terra Mar Project. I can't keep up with it. Maxwell disappeared from public view after Epstein was charged with sex trafficking. When she was arrested, she was hiding out on an estate in New Hampshire with access to 15 bank accounts with up to 20 million US dollars.
Yeah, you know,
And she was on U.S. soil. I mean, it serves her right.
you know what was on her mailbox there?
I mean,
Explain
of
that.
course. Well, if you were a fugitive from justice,
Yeah.
would you, and you had $20 million at your disposal, would you not be in a country that does not extradite?
I would definitely
Right.
be Googling countries that don't have extradition. Same thing if I was Harvey Weinstein, circa about 2016.
Now,
Like-
that being said, I'm glad that it got caught.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm glad Harvey Weinstein got caught.
Yeah.
But to your point, I mean, who's the director that's still living in, I don't know, Paris, wherever?
Oh, yeah, the guy that did Rosemary.
Yeah, what the fuck's that
Polanski?
piece of,
Roman
Roman
Polanski.
Polanski. He's a piece of shit, but he read the writing on the wall. He's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I gotta get the fucks out.
I
And
mean,
when he left, didn't his wife and
I love
people get murdered?
I love living in the USA. Yeah, that was a whole Manson thing.
Yeah.
I love living in the USA, but if I have to live abroad free versus living here behind
Yeah.
bars, yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Well, especially if you have the means. I mean, like, I'd be, there ain't no way I'm raising the money to go live on a private island or
Fight Island.
in France or
Fuck
something.
Island.
Fight Island.
A walk-on part in a war or a lead role in a cage.
There you go. Isn't that what MMA's got going on right now?
Yeah.
Dana White?
Yeah,
Fight Island?
I got some of that coming up later.
Trump wished her well.
Yeah, he did. But you know what? Everybody's like jumping on that, and he's just like, I don't know. I wish her well, whatever.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like he didn't like say, hey, good luck. I hope you
He
get
spoke his mind.
off. He's like, I wish her well. It wasn't as bad as people are making it out.
Right.
Well, and not only that, let's be honest, it's under Trump's presidency that these people have been arrested, not under anyone else's.
Wishing her well. It's almost like that bit where it's like were you making fun? Was that Stanhope?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, I was making fun. It's wish everybody well, you know?
Yeah. So China just
Go with your gut.
launched a mission to Mars. Did you guys see this?
No
Be
shit.
safe from evil.
Check this out.
I did
China
not-
just launched this Mars
Dave
mission.
Dennis called her a worthless cunt.
That's true. I just let people read it. I think
Truth.
you can read it.
Hashtag truth. How many man mission?
I said it for you, Dave.
Oh, there's no man on there. There's a rover, lander, and an orbiter aboard the rocket as part of its Taiwan 1 mission. The launch was a success, and the rover has been successfully transferred to the predetermined orbit.
But there is rumor that they are sending the coronavirus to Mars ahead of everybody else.
Right, let's clear that place out.
Rover, Red Rover.
Fact. Bend over, bend over.
No, it's like Rover and then the Red Planet Rover. And then Rover took over.
Whoa!
And then when did Grover come in?
That's not
And what's the difference between Grover and Cookie Monster?
That's not till the climax.
Inquiring minds want to know.
One's green, one's blue.
Yeah.
No, actually, Grover's purple, right?
Grover's blue, right?
No. Cookie Monster's blue, right?
Cookie Monster's blue.
purple.
I don't know. I think Grover's blue too.
Is he blue? Isn't? I thought Grover was supposed to be like. I don't know.
Anyway,
Okay, so dude, read Mindy's comment.
This to me right here, I can't see it.
Okay.
This to me right here is the beginning of the race to man mission to Mars.
Obviously,
Right.
we're ahead of them, though.
Maybe,
I'll read it, Mindy.
maybe. If I'm a bet man, I'm gonna bet China gets there with a man first.
Okay, so Mindy Snoop says, he saves his hate for Democrats, which apparently are worse than pedophiles. So sick of him getting passed on being a fucking asshole. And I actually added the fucking.
Who was that?
Just Trump. It's
Oh,
like,
oh.
why? It's like, why does he get passed? You know, it's like we kind of did give him a pass, but
We gave him a pass?
because he wished somebody well, I guess. She's like, fuck that.
We should wish everybody well.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
But,
world
I
would
get
be
it.
a better place.
I get it.
The
All
world
right,
would
so moving on, and I guess I said that was the last serious thing. This should be the last serious
This some
thing.
serious shit right here.
So this is
Brace yourself.
This is from the NYPD, and these are cops getting beaten with canes.
Is it like elderly people attacking?
No,
No.
it's
Can you see
thugs. Those are thugs, Steven.
So thugs are carrying canes now?
No, those are beaten sticks. Those are fucking shillelaghs.
Shillelaghs?
Yeah, those are fucking. Dude, that's a fucking cane right there. Oh, maybe it is a shillelagh. Which is it?
Shillelaghs are a good weapon.
Yeah, it's an Irish walking stick.
Yes.
So this is what's going on right now, and it's a scary time, honestly. I'm glad I live where I live. I'm glad I'm not in one of these big cities. But like I was
I hope
telling
that
Steve
cop
before
didn't get a concussion.
before we started the podcast, I was wearing this in a gas station today, and like I was getting looked at kind of weird by a couple of young people, and I'm like, oh, the red, black, and I'm like, I'm not trying to make a statement here. I'm just a Chappelle fan, right?
Dude, if the sea was yellow, you'd have to fucking fight.
Why?
Because it's the Italian flag.
Oh, you're so far off base there.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Can we have a fact checker on that?
You know what? I think I got the colors mixed up too.
Colors. Colors. I think everybody's got the colors mixed
I
up.
am a nightmare
We need to
walking
quit getting it
psychopath
twisted.
talking.
Yeah.
You
We
know?
need to keep it real is what we need to do.
Keep
You know
it
what we
real,
need to do?
real intelligent,
Yeah.
not real stupid.
Remember
Like
the
this guy.
Chappelle skit, Keeping It Real?
Yeah. When keeping it real goes wrong.
Like
This is the guy that walks into a sex store and steals a 40-pound sex toy.
Right.
You guys seen this? You heard about this?
Dude,
I have not heard about it. I did not even know there were 40-pound sex toys.
But
I
you know,
mean,
who hasn't?
You haven't bottomed out yet.
I obviously
You
haven't.
haven't stretched it out enough.
And you know, as a gaping yodeler, I'm a little bit
We need to talk about this gaping yodeler stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
is
you know
that-
what? I
is
say
that gonna
he
really
who has
get
not walked into a porn store and stole a 40-pound sex toy may blow the first load.
there you go. I mean,
No,
You
I meant to
should've-
say cast the first stone.
You should have said throw the first load is what you should have gone.
Throw.
Yeah.
oh,
Just to throw you off.
he threw it.
Ouch.
All right. There he goes. He walked out of the store with a 40-pound sex toy.
So
Yeah.
what is it though? I mean,
It's a giant dick.
Yeah, it's a giant dick.
but what are you gonna do with that?
You're gonna fuck a girl with it and
I don't
pretend
know.
like it's yours.
What girl, I mean, honestly, is going to take that?
I don't know.
What are you doing? Are you fucking elephants or something?
Maybe he's dating an elephant. I'm not judging him for it.
Well,
I
you know,
bet this is one
Maybe
of
he
those.
reality.
identifies as an elephant.
This is one of those things where somebody has been. I bet you can't go in there.
I
and
bet
walk
that's
out with
it.
that.
He just wants to please his woman.
he just wants to have that sitting in the corner of his house.
I guess.
Why didn't he just get a stop sign or something that said Cock Street up there or something? You know?
Big black vibrating fists, latex fists. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Maybe. Never mind. Before we get kicked off. I'm not gonna say
Laces in, Dave.
So Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. I think that's a great matchup because
it's a good
I think Roy's younger and
everybody's good.
probably quicker.
What's the tail of the tape though? I mean, Roy did get heavier, but he's got to be giving away 20 or 30 pounds.
I'm pretty sure he did fight heavyweight a couple times, but he was usually a light heavyweight.
Light heavy, right?
Right, he was usually a light heavyweight.
I wonder if Tyson walked up to him and it's like, "You want to make $100 million?"
Well, yeah, he talks about that right here. Let's go ahead and
Does
see
he?
what Roy Jones says about that.
I don't need to do it. Sure, I'm fine where I was. Matter of fact, I thought about it 3 or 4 times because of Mike Tyson. That's what made me do it, because of Mike Tyson. With Mike Tyson, I probably would have done. All the way I did it for probably would have been no outcome. And I would have did no exhibition would have been real. But everybody else, I would have counted time.
Describe to me the difference between an exhibition match that's 8 rounds when you're in a ring with a guy for 10 or 12. I mean, how is it?
Okay, so it's probably really hard for the people watching to hear, but what he was saying is like, I don't need the money, I don't need to do this, but the only reason I'm doing it is because
It's Mike.
I'm fighting Mike Tyson. He's like, the only other person I might have come out and fought was, I'm pretty sure he said Bernard Hopkins, which that would make sense too.
Yeah, it's
but-
really hard to
But Mike's
understand.
the greatest modern fighter of all time, or greatest modern fighter in life right now, right?
Yeah, hit that again.
I think that Mike Tyson is definitely the greatest puncher and knockout artist.
Yes.
Obviously. I actually think Roy Jones Jr. might have him pound for pound.
Well, especially now. I think Roy's younger. I'm pretty sure that's true, right?
Yeah, but
He's a little bit younger.
I would think the younger would win.
But I mean, even Roy in his prime was just as dominant as Mike.
Well-
but at a smaller size.
Right. And Roy was, he had the one punch power, but he was more of a, I'm going to touch you up and then just outbox you. Kind of like a mix between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, right? He had the power.
I
Go ahead.
I just think he was so much faster than everybody that he was. I would compare him more to a Muhammad Ali style because he was flashy. He'd step back and drop his arms.
Yeah, I think he had
and then
more-
come back in.
I think he had
You
more
know-
power than Muhammad Ali.
I just hate Floyd Mayweather.
You know what?
He's a
I think-
defensive fighter. I think if you run from everybody that you fight, pretty much. I mean, we found out last time on the podcast he had 20-some knockouts, which was more than I thought he had.
I would agree with that 100%. I would agree with that, but at the same time, he's a professional boxer. He's never been beat. Somebody has to figure out how to beat him. It's
You know,
not his job to change how he fights. It's somebody else's job to figure out how to beat him, and nobody's been able to
Right.
do it.
It's like it's a chess game.
Well,
You know why I think Tyson's going to be more deadly than ever? Because right now he's got the discipline and the knowledge, and I think the patience, and that's what. It seems like all sports are like 90% mental. I think Michael Jordan proved that because he was a very mental player. But it's like I think he's going to become stronger than he's ever become because he's got the discipline now.
He will never be stronger than he was when he was 24.
That's true. And you know what? How can you get that rage of eating babies back into your body?
Well, I've seen, and I'll play it next, Mike Tyson hitting pads, and it looks good.
Intimidating.
So I will say, my prediction right now is that the fight ends in the first 3 rounds, Tyson will win.
Okay.
But if it doesn't end, once it goes into the 4th round, it's Roy Jones Jr.'s world.
Because he's the younger.
Younger, faster, I think better cardio.
So this is gonna be like the tortoise and the hare.
What do
No.
you think, Steve?
Well, I think that if we put, like I said,
I'm choosing Tyson though, since we're documenting on
Steve's
what we
talking.
think is gonna happen.
that's all right. I definitely think Roy Jones
Okay. So
will
you,
last because I
That's
think
Roy
that
Jones.
it's exhibition, and I think the only thing, like MJ said earlier, 2 men fighting. Once you get hit, like Mike said, once you get hit in the face,
Plans go out the window.
plans go out the window.
Right,
So
no shit.
their pride might step in, but I don't think it's going to step in for the first few rounds.
Well, I don't know.
Like I
Let's
said,
not
I
make any
think
mistake.
that's a
It
little
is an exhibition. Both of them want to win. Both of them are going to do whatever they can to
Right.
win. So the word exhibition to me is kind of out. It's out.
Yeah.
It's
What's
out
the difference between a full spar and a fight? Basically,
Right.
the discipline of not killing somebody when you eat.
And I'd have to look at what rules they're fighting under.
Yeah.
But if it's just Queensberry rules, yeah, it's a fight.
It's like no biting. That's it. That's the only rule.
Right.
What do you think about Mayweather? Like, let's say Roy Jones looks kind of good. What about something like that?
I would watch it. I would watch Mayweather and Roy Jones. Fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
like-
I know that Mayweather's
I bet
a
they
lot
both make
smaller.
$100 million off of it.
I hope they do.
I know he's a lot
I hope they do
smaller,
too.
but at the same time, Jones is older, and it could be an exhibition. I mean, he did an exhibition with Conor. I just think.
I'm all right with these exhibition fights because these are guys that did fight in a different era. Maybe they didn't make as much money as the fighters are. Well, I don't know.
Just
I
gonna be
mean,
a big night.
The heavyweight division right now, I think, is a little
Yeah.
shaky, which is why, like, if Mike Tyson does, like, I think he's not in the top 5 in the heavyweight division, but he could probably beat like 6, 7, 8, maybe.
He would definitely.
I don't know.
Be top card though.
I mean, if
You
he
know
got
what I
if he
mean?
got a heavyweight title fight, dude, you're gonna. I don't care what they're paying for, what they're charging for that pay-per-view. I'm getting it.
But yeah, unless
no
it's
shit.
a heavyweight
This
title
would be a
fight,
huge night, man.
anybody fighting Tyson, I think, is top card. You
Yeah,
know?
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So I do think he's got that draw.
Oh,
You know?
for sure he does.
And one thing is, back to the Mayweather thing. I agree with you 110%. You got to know how to beat Floyd Mayweather, and the only way you can beat somebody that's defensive is obviously to hit him, and B, cut the damn ring off, cut the ring off. So if you do fight a bigger opponent, you know, someone that is known to be quick, and I haven't really seen, you know, Roy Jones working out. I have seen Mike work out. Mike does look quick. I definitely wouldn't want to get hit with one of them hooks in the
Roy
body.
Jones looks quicker.
And he always was.
Yeah.
And that was, like we said, his forte. That being said, I would like Roy Jones's odds against Mayweather.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a puncher's chance because he can turn your lights out with either hand, really. Either
Dude, I
hand.
bet that fight generates
And he
$1
was
billion
southpaw.
in Vegas.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's Mike Tyson hitting pads, and just what
Easy.
the thing about hitting pads is don't look
Right.
at it, listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the sound doesn't lie.
It's a snap, yeah.
Dude, the fight's gonna affect the economy. Ouch.
Those are lights out.
Yeah. Oh, what happened to his neck? It's gone again. Dude, he looks good. Holy
Didn't he
fuck.
fight with a broken back?
Apparently, the Buster Douglas, he was pretty fucked up. Yeah. But yeah, that's power. He's got power in his left hand still. He's got.
Right.
You can knock. I think any man. You know, there might be a handful of men that could take that left hook and still stay on their feet.
Yeah. Nobody that I know.
Man.
No,
Yeah,
nobody that I
yeah,
know for sure.
But he'd knock out 99.9%.
Who's the big guy in the UFC now? Can't think of his name.
Elton John could probably take it.
Yeah, Elton John.
That's the only one I can think of.
Elton John would turn into a pile of salt.
He would design a punch to make Elton John's liver bleed. We'll buy on all
You
the
think Elton
jeans.
John could take that punch? Come on.
He'd be
You meant
like,
to say a pile of sugar.
he said,
Whatever.
goodbye liver and spleen. He designed a punch to make my
Power
liver
dust.
bleed. Oh my god.
to make his liver bleed.
Oh, that's fucking
Yeah.
genius.
Mike Tyson is, you know, next to Muhammad Ali, one of my all-time favorite heavyweights. So definitely.
Absolutely.
And-
you know what? I even like the Gypsy King.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's got to be up there, top 5, top 3.
What's up, Michael Olsen? Do you remember when
Much
Muhammad
respect to
Ali,
Rodney
it's like-
Marciano.
I think it was Sports Illustrated had they crowned the greatest athlete of the past 100 years, and it was like Muhammad Ali, and he's like sitting over there in a wheelchair like this.
Muhammad Ali.
Well, you know, it's a tough way to make a living, and
Yeah.
that's what happens to you at the end
Yeah.
if you stay in too long. And he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to come back, and make it entertaining. He was an entertainer. That's what he was. He was addicted to that drug. You know, like, can you imagine, like, when you knock somebody out and you turn around and the crowd's cheering and you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, that feeling has got to be second to none, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
got to be
Yeah.
the best ever.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially
not-
when you're the best in the world at it.
Yeah.
Well, his style too. He took a lot of headshots.
Yes, he did.
You know, because
The
he
rope-a-dope.
would do the rope-a-dope, but he would let people
You
punch
just didn't
themselves out.
Right.
You know, and sometimes he would take some big shots, and he would
I
and
think
he
I
would
heard-
use those ropes actually to stay up.
I think I've heard 10,000 hits, or maybe 100,000 throughout his career.
The rope-a-dope was a very calculated and cunning move, but yeah, he did take some hits.
Yeah, and at the same time, that rope stopped him and gave him momentum coming back off. And
Yeah.
with one thing you were talking about Tyson is he knows how to use his body to throw every ounce of power
He's like
into
Bruce
them
Lee.
short punches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
You know,
short, stocky, you know,
Just
like
twist,
powerful legs, you know.
Yeah, it's
powerful
coming from the
gluteus
feet.
maximus,
And
all
he
that
just-
torque.
And you know what? When you think about it, it's like, you know how to make somebody unaffective towards you is like to getting close to him, and that's when he's like most effective.
Yeah, because he likes short punches.
Right.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
he usually did not have a reach advantage.
Yeah,
so
he was
getting
usually
in,
the
getting
smaller
in tight
guy.
was
Yeah.
what he wanted to do. All right, so Steve
if he was a
actually
gun, he would be the Walter PPK.
Steve actually posted this in the group page, and this is a guy. He's going against Antifa, and he's saying all lives matter. And I mean, I don't know. This is gonna be.
Well, you know what? It's like,
this
I
is
think
gonna be a touchy subject, right?
I think he thinks Antifa is they're fascists.
They are.
So he's probably just an educated black man. Look. Dude, are we out of whiskey? Can I drink some of this?
Now that was a very good point that he was making, though, because I am definitely pro Black Lives Matter, but I'm definitely pro all lives matter, you know, and one may trump the other. I do think all lives
Well, I
matter.
think when you say Trump, you're throwing a whole word in there that doesn't need to be
Well, I'm
in
just
there,
using
right?
it as a
as a catch-all.
yeah, not
As an
not
asterisk,
as a
as a wild
political term at all, and not referencing
Well,
a person.
I'll say it like this: like, how fucked up of a time is it when you say all lives matter and people think that you're an asshole?
Right.
Like, and I get it. I'm not defending it, but that statement shouldn't be. It shouldn't be political. It shouldn't be personal. It shouldn't be a trigger. It's just a statement of fact. Yes, all lives do matter. The problem is when you say it in response to Black Lives Matter. Yeah, you sound like an asshole.
But at the same time, when it's a black man screaming it, maybe he's like, we need to chill the fuck out.
Well, this is my
Yo, white
problem
people are
with
stealing
that.
our movement.
This is my problem with that, though, is that the even other black people are referring to him as an Uncle Tom and or a, you know, they're
Uncle
throwing
Ben.
racist, not the rice, but or an Aunt Jemima, but they're throwing racist stereotypes at them, calling them coons and stuff like that, because they're not supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, but they're going against, you know, with All Lives Matter. And All Lives does incorporate, or I should say encompass, Black lives.
Right.
I mean, that is inclusive. It is all inclusive.
Right, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to take away, you know, I don't want to take away Black Lives Matter for people who feel like black lives have been trampled on by police officers and other people
Well, there's the difference.
with no
right
justice,
there.
right?
But there's
I mean,
the difference.
obviously
Right.
that's a problem.
Right.
You don't want to take that away, but they do want to take that away from you, and that's where it's like tit for tat, or you know, pot calling the kettle black, so to speak. I mean, I'm just using those as terms to say that take a look in the mirror, and before you go accusing someone else of being racist, make sure that you're not a damn racist.
You know what? But at the same time, it's like, look back to the Rodney King footage of what those cops were doing to that fucking man, and the fucking officers were found innocent. And that set people off then, too.
Honestly, I think Rodney King is not as good as example as what happened to George Floyd. George Floyd was just murdered.
Yeah.
And you can go back.
And what a perfect name for it, too, right? George Floyd.
How's that a perfect name?
I mean, like, I'm thinking like George Washington and Pink Floyd. You don't get
Have
that?
another drink. I mean,
That
if they
doesn't
were
make
dating,
sense.
no, it's a big reach.
Dude,
but
now, George Floyd has become a fucking, like, a verb and a noun and an adjective. The name will reign for the next 1,000 years. Because it's almost like he started the coronavirus.
Coronavirus is here long before he was.
and it's the Wuhan.
Say that again, also.
Wuhan
What did you
virus.
say about George Floyd?
I just think the name is like a personification. It's
He
like
just
it's almost
likes
like
the name. It's a good, upstanding name. And our condolences to the Floyd
yes,
family.
it's like when you say George Floyd from now on, his name. You know, they say your name will travel further than your body ever will. In his case, it will soon occupy the galaxy. Thank you for that.
Words of wisdom from Austin Allen. This has been a message to all the lunatics out there.
I just think this name is beautiful, George Floyd.
And I agree with you. I think all names are beautiful, and I think that we need to spread a little bit more love.
His name is a poem now.
Well, if we think about that night that Steve came in here and he was talking about it, and I hadn't seen it yet.
Right.
It was the night of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
We played a
It
little
was
bit
just
of
mentioned.
it.
The
I
night
never
before.
really watched the whole thing until like a few weeks later.
Yeah, Steve
but-
just mentioned it in the passing.
Well, no, he was one to talk about
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
for sure. But I had no idea how much of a cultural and
That was going to start the next civil war in this
national
country.
phenomenon that would become, right?
All right.
Well,
What's up,
it was,
Dick and Dave?
it was definitely significant when you watch people knowingly kill somebody right there, being filmed, being so nonchalant about what they're doing, and then
As the
other
people-
people
as the
calling
people
them
begging him.
out,
Yeah.
and just that the audacity and veracity of that police officer.
It's cold-blooded murder. Is
Oh,
what it is.
and hopefully, I mean, he will definitely get, his. I guarantee you, one way or another, it's going to come around for him.
Yeah.
And but on a bigger note, that does happen to a lot of people, but that is not every police officer.
No,
You know.
absolutely not.
And I do think that right now, that one thing that this has done, and it's unfortunate because it had to happen, because of George Floyd's death. People are being a lot more aware. We are being more cultural sensitive, and the police are even being, hey, let's, be a little bit, let's take back, because it's on both sides, You got to know how to deal with police, and police got to know how to deal with us.
Well, being
They
a
get
police
trained
officer is
to.
a shit job.
Yep, they get trained too, so they're going to need more training and better training. But it's also the family's responsibility to train people how to deal with police. In other words, when you get pulled over, it's not, what the fuck do you want? Yes, sir. No, sir.
Right.
Be as cooperable as you can. Know that they're just doing their job.
Be courteous, yeah.
And hopefully it'll go well. There's always that 5%, that are just bad people. But they're bad cops, they're bad firemen, they're bad gas station attendants, they're bad teachers,
yeah.
they're bad priests.
But
It's people.
You know what? But it's like no flexing nuts anymore.
Well, I'll flex.
Absolutely. And to your point, police shouldn't be called out to like every little somebody's got like an issue at home. There should be other people that can come and take that call.
Right.
Give the police,
non-uniform.
like Jocko Willing said, give the police the training. Like their full week schedule should include 20% training, 20% mental fitness, 20% physical readiness, jiu-jitsu training, the stuff that they need. So that they know, like, if they do get into a struggle, they're going to be able to defend themselves or not die, that they can put somebody in an armbar.
But
or they should be able to put somebody in a chokehold if they are
Right.
being aggressive
Right.
to neutralize that person.
But at the
But
same-
if we're going to
yeah.
take away their ability to defend themselves, nobody worth a shit is ever going to want to be a cop. And we are like in a state right now where we do have to have some change. Like, young black men shouldn't be afraid that if they get pulled over, that there's a good chance that they're going to get pulled out of
Right.
the car and it's roughed up for no reason. That's bullshit. But like you said, 90% of the cops are not going to do that.
I would say 99%.
I would hope it's that high. I would
Yeah,
hope it's that high.
I would like to agree with that.
Yeah, I hope it's 99.99 infinity.
Right.
But you did make an interesting point, because there are a lot of non-lethal holds that you can subdue people with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
arm bars, finger restraints. I mean, you can restrain somebody with a thumb. You
Right.
can use Russian samba. which-
It's going to be an unpopular opinion. The chokehold is the most effective and the most.
But
So-
you know what? At the same time, we're training them how to communicate and how to how not to escalate things and how to talk to people like they're human.
Right.
It's
And
like-
I'm not saying like we should start with the chokehold. Like that's not
Yeah.
that's
No,
not
no.
that's not the first thing we start with.
Right.
But if we're going to take that away from the cops, then they can't defend
Yeah.
themselves, and nobody worth a shit's ever going to be a cop.
But the one thing about, and there are different chokes as well. The one thing about when you go with the rear naked, which is a lot of the popular, it's right on the carotid artery. And a lot of
Yeah.
times you can even do irreprehensible damage if you don't know what you're doing. Because 4 seconds, a person's going to be out from that.
Oh yeah,
Four
it's probably
seconds.
2. And like Andrew Wang said, every cop should be a blue belt at least in jiu-jitsu. And then you would know if you're choking somebody.
Yeah,
Hold her
makes
out,
sense.
let them go, let them
You
go.
gotta
If they're
let them go,
incapacitated,
because it still can affect them later, because that's also part of the death touch. You know, to where
death touch is
The
real.
demok.
it is real. The demok, it is real.
Okay.
No.
Maybe we're talking about
Wait.
something else. We can talk about this some other
The
time.
bottom one.
We've got 10 minutes left, and I got some fun stuff to talk about.
All right.
So we've been a little.
Demok is
are
fun.
Are we done?
Well, I think so. I think we covered that pretty well.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to beat a dead horse.
We killing.
So
we killing it now.
I think
Yeah.
in this COVID-19 era, right now the UFC is killing it with what they call Fight Island, and you know, I'm hopeful for baseball. I'm hopeful for football. We were talking about this earlier. The Washington Nationals have like, I don't know, 9 or 12 people that tested positive. Now they're canceling games already.
I'm gonna have to go with Jamaica.
That's a good.
Are we fighting islands?
No,
This is in Abu Dhabi.
just a
Oh.
straight
No
fight.
shit.
But wasn't there a Bruce Lee movie when he did that?
It was a John Claude Van Damme movie, right?
Bloodsport, I think, was on island as well.
Yeah.
And but also before that, I think it was.
I think Bloodsport was in Taiwan.
Fist of Fury. Is it Fist of
Maybe.
Fist of Fury?
Dude, but
Anyway,
the
this
thing I
is
quoted,
this is the UFC video
that
on
was
Fight Island.
Bloodsport, the bottom one.
I don't know why it takes so long for it all. Paige Van Zandt, here they're fighting in fighters. They have wellness ambassadors. Dana White's got this shit figured out.
Well, he's also
Fucking
sitting on
make it happen,
$1 billion.
Dude, he's legendary.
He was in the right place at the right time.
Do you think Jeff Bezos is smiling right now?
Nobody does it like Abu Dhabi.
So right now he's holding like 2 fights a week on Fight Island. 2 whole fight cards, not just 2 fights.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that the United Arab Emirates or
Abu Dhabi, yeah. AUE.
AUE?
Yeah. If we're gonna keep it light, unless you guys have anything else, I got this Tom Segura dance video when Bert challenged him to a dance off. Have you guys seen this video?
Uh-uh.
All right, this is fun. This is fun right here.
I mean, my God. You can't dance. Look at those tits. Oh, I'm gonna vomit. His poor wife.
Dude, that's Post Malone.
Wife? Look at another pee-pee.
That's definitely racist.
It's good right here.
It probably stinks too.
Hey, Tom Segura. You've been dancing your whole life.
I know.
Show this fool up.
Woke up in the thing, I be on my thing.
He's doing Steven Seagal, right?
Yeah.
I put them to shame. Please don't steal my style. I might cuss you out. What you
Just
doing?
stop Spirit Clutch that right first.
Booty, booty claps. Flying across the map. Lambo on the
Dude, that was fucking brilliant.
looking like a snack. I show you how I do it. Show you how it's done. Don't look for another. Let there be no another one.
Machine.
Watch me do it, 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 do it, do it, do it.
Fuck you, Bert.
It's not over. It's not over.
Hey man, that was crazy. But I was kidding. You're my best friend, and I love you.
Watch me do it, 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 watch me do it,
You know what? You know why that makes sense?
What?
Was that the
Remember when we went and saw Segura?
Yeah.
Dude, we showed up like 45 minutes early, and it's like, dude, all they played was like rap from like the mid '90s.
Yeah.
And
Why
like
do you have trouble talking?
I got the hiccups again.
I've got continuing with the lighter side of shit. I got Theo Vaughn's blunder moment that he told on Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Have you guys seen this?
I have not.
It's a great story.
I love Joe Rogan's podcast.
So like,
Yeah.
when you were partying,
Mhm.
what was your
You see
thing?
this? I can turn
Just
this
doing
on
cocaine by
the
myself
network.
at the house,
Yeah.
really.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
It was all cocaine. Yeah.
Dude, and cocaine, go back to that vest story, man. So here's what happened. So I would get fucked up and put these vests on, put on sunglasses, and no like Buffalo Bill shit, but at least partying by myself, you know? And I was making like a nice smoothie, and I'm fucking coked up, we're partying, you know, I'm living high on the hog, got these 2 vests on maybe, right? And I thought, dude, I heard something outside, right? Which is kind of weird to even think of when you have a blender going, right? So I leave out of my apartment to go in the hallway, lock myself out with the blender going. 2:30 in the morning, coked up out of my brain,
that's
right?
hilarious.
Now I have to go to my landlord, dude, who lives right down the hall,
Oh no.
and tell him like, hey man,
2:30 in the morning. I
I'm
got locked out. And the blender's on, son. Oh my god,
The
he
blender's on,
hated you.
son.
oh, the blender shorts out and smoke happens. The fire alarm starts going off in the building right as I'm at his door knocking, right?
Oh my god.
So now he's pissed and he's like, what's going on? And I didn't know what to say. I told him that I was throwing a late Christmas party, dude. It was fucking end of January.
How old were you at the time?
Huh? Oh, this is 2.5 years ago. So I was 35. So he comes back to my apartment, right? He's fucking pissed. He unlocks the door. There's nobody in there.
Oh my god.
Like, man, but that's it. It was fun.
Did you notice
How long did you
that
live there for?
the
I still live
landlord
there.
is Brian Callen?
I still live there.
I'm pretty sure the landlord's supposed to be
Oh
Brian
my
Callen.
God.
Okay, yeah, I see
Man,
it. I
but
see
that's
it.
it. It was fun.
How long did you live there for?
I still live
I
there.
still live there.
Whoa.
Yeah, we patched it.
Dude, that's just as
You know,
as
like,
funny
I'm
as like,
doing
when
some
did this
things.
happen?
So I think
You're thinking he's gonna say like 1996.
I think we're all
like, oh,
thinking
this is a couple years ago.
2 years.
Oh, this is last Christmas. Like, oh,
So this is another.
this is my favorite.
No, this is a different one.
Who's it?
This isn't the same one.
Can you play that one after?
Not the
after
baby
this?
Desi theory. Maybe I'd have to find it. But so this is I don't know. I just found this on Theo Vaughn's Instagram. It's pretty funny.
I'm gonna come meet you around 8:15, 8:20, 8:19.
Can you full screen that?
And then you get in the car once your folks went to sleep or went in their room, you get in there and put that car into neutral and push that bastard down to to your girl's house and you pull up and that was, when I was growing up, that was like kind of an early way of kind of driving a little bit, is just getting that thing in a neutral and just pushing that bitch around the neighborhood.
Oh, shit.
You wanted to trick her, so you would park and then go get her, say, hey, what's going on? Yeah, just drove down. Meanwhile, you're just covered in sweat. You know, you just pushed a, a 1991 Oldsmobile, pushed that thing about 8 blocks. You know, you tell a girl, you say, hey, look, I'm gonna come.
You want me to try to find that one, Austin?
Yeah.
All right. You gotta talk about something while I try to find it.
Okay. Go.
He spoke right at you. He said, you have to talk about this.
Well, when he was talking about pushing a car around just so a girl thinks you drove there, dude, you think that's made up or you think that's real?
I think that's real.
Yeah.
I think that's really happened to him in his childhood in Indiana.
You know what? But in his
Louisiana.
defense, it's a lot healthier to push a car than to drive it.
I was fortunate enough to, when I was younger, I had friends that were older that had a car, so I was.
No, dude. You know what? You had your mom's fucking Escort, and you know what? You know what we did with that thing?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
Disclaimer.
Dude, remember when we took it to Steak and Shake and you backed it in at the car club and you popped the hood and we stood by it?
And all those people came over like it was something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Fucking kids.
Why are
But
they-
you know what? At the same time, I think that was one of our greatest moments. I think it's been brought up 5 times now on the Moon Club podcast.
At least 5. And there was always the time out front of Grady's Pizza and Games when we beat you up and threw you in the back.
I think we threw you in the trunk.
No, we threw you in.
Was it me?
It was you.
And the cops pull up. We were like,
No,
let
there
him
was
out.
some lady said,
Quit! Let him out! You let him out of there!
we're like, no.
You guys act like you were fucking kicking me.
Yeah.
And like fucking you pop the trunk and you're like looking around like this.
No, I remember having a couple of us in the back of that trunk going, we'd pull up at stoplights, pop the trunk up, people in the car behind us would be startled and shit. That Cadillac was nice. I wish we could get
Dude,
that
you know what?
back.
I remember a time when I went. Me and my friend Lance Hilliard and I think Dave Stiles walked into a bank, and it's like, let's all stand out in different corners of the
aren't
room
that great anymore.
and just start looking at each other and like nodding.
How'd that work out for you?
We
Yeah,
didn't get
that
shot.
could almost
I'm
be
surprised.
like mob action.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that now.
Dude, I swear to God that happened though.
Nope, I believe you.
It's like, hey, let's all go stand at the bank and just keep looking at each other and going like this. MJ.
I'm trying to find the baby density theory one.
I dare you to do that now.
It's like, you know what? My name is Tiger King. I just came in here into this bank with my 3 husbands, and we just all started nodding at one another. You know what I'm saying? Because we love money and we
2.5
love
blocks
one
away.
another.
And her house, I think, burned down at some point.
That's not it.
Baby density.
Baby density.
I can't find it. I can't find it.
Dude, instead of Destiny's Child, maybe we should call our fucking rap group Baby Density.
I didn't think we were calling it Destiny's Child.
No, it's not. Is it the Gaping Yodelers?
That's what I understood it.
That's the way I understood it. And I'm surprised that you thought it was Destiny's Child.
Well, what's the name of our first album?
Okay, if
Dude,
we are
okay.
Destiny's Child, do you think you're actually Beyonce?
Yes, that's the way I see it.
Definitely not.
You're definitely.
All right, T-Boss.
Steve would probably be the Beyonce.
Oh, come
here
on.
it is. Here it is. That's the one, right? Is that the one?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
affirmative.
And then this is true too.
But for a little while, it was like
You're
being
my truck.
stuck in a really small elevator, but you guys were going somewhere forward, and there was a window on the front. And Mom could, the good thing about a small car, Mom could beat everybody's ass from that driver's seat. And it was almost like playing the cymbals when Mom would start whooping everybody's ass in the car, because different children have different densities in them. And that's called body density. And so she'd hit my brother and he'd be like, bang. And then me would be like, bang. And then my sister would be like, bang, because it was younger. And then the little baby, she'd be like, what, bang, bang, bang. always hope people would steal it.
We always hope people would
You
steal
know,
it.
we'd rather walk in an organized group with mom walking, and then one of us walking right next to her, and then three of us walking in the back. We'd rather walk in formation than be in that car, because you know if we was going somewhere long enough, mom was about to play that damn drum, boy. You know, mom
it's
had
funnier
this
the
Ford
second time you watch
Festiva
it.
for a little while. It was like being stuck in a really small elevator, but you guys were going somewhere forward, you know, and there was a window on the front. And mom could, the good thing about a small car, mom could beat everybody's ass.
Is this a rant or
that driver's seat.
cleverly
And it
crafted
was almost like
dialogue?
playing the cymbals when mom would start whooping everybody's ass in the car, because different children have different densities in them. And that's called body density. And so she'd hit my brother and he'd be like, bang, bang. And then me would be like, bang. And then my sister would be like, bang, because it was younger. And then the little
Why is
baby
she
would be like,
Japanese?
bang, 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 bang. The baby was being bad right there. We owned the car and we would always hope people would steal it. You know? We'd rather walk in an organized group with mom
Well, it's just
walking,
like-
and then one of us walking right next to her, and then three of us walking in the.
That's my favorite.
We'd rather walk than drive.
All right,
My
I've
mom used
got.
to have a pink car.
This is
I
good.
wasn't
This
fond
is
of.
brilliant too.
Go ahead, see what you're gonna say.
I said my mom used to have a pink car I was not fond of.
Was that
Is
before
it?
we
I
met?
remember. I don't remember the pink car.
Yeah, it was
Like circa
Ford,
1980.
Mercury. It was after the 90s. It was like
Yeah.
Oh, that was like red, like maroon, right?
No, it was pink. I think it was coral was the color it was called.
Coral?
Something
That's kind of faggish, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, this one is Kyle Dunnigan, and he's every character in this skit. But I think it's pretty fucking brilliant.
I think this guy's a genius.
Black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter.
It's Black Lives Matter, not Black Guys Matter, you fucking idiots.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know you girls can't orgasm without one of their dongs in your asshole, so black guys matter to you.
Yeah, black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter. Black guys matter.
Well, I'll tell you this, you girls having babies with black guys is great for racial relations. Yeah, because eventually we'll all just be one beautiful brown race.
That's true.
Wait, but then there won't be any black guys. Black guys matter.
Yeah, all right, black guys matter. Jesus. Are we just gonna not talk about how incredibly fucked up Chloe's new face is?
I'm kidding you.
Yeah, for a plastic fuck doll. Hey girls, crazy what's going on out there, huh?
Black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter.
It's Black Lives Matter, not Black Guys Matter, you fucking idiots.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I know you girls can't orgasm without one of their dongs in your assholes, so black guys matter to you.
Yeah, black guys matter. Yeah, black guys matter. Black guys matter.
Well, I'll tell you this, you girls having babies with black guys is great for
Yeah,
racial
that's getting the
relations.
general
Yeah,
bottom right.
because
This is
eventually we'll all just
The
be
bottom
one
middle?
beautiful brown
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
Wait, but then there won't be any black guys.
Moon Club Podcast 205. We out.
Yeah,
All right, black guys matter. Jesus.